What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we got for you some of our favorite strength training exercises for long jump. So we actually train a lot of track athletes and we train a couple people who do long jump. So these are some of our favorite exercises, some of our favorite areas to target. By no means are we actual track coaches, right? We don't go out there to the track with the athletes and work on that type of mechanics for the jump, but these are what we like to do in our gym to help them how we can to excel in long jump. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. We post new videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays. It really supports our channel. We really appreciate it. And comment down below videos you want to see in the future. Hopefully you guys like this one. Alright guys, the first exercise in no particular order, we are starting with rear foot elevated split squat. So you can go body weight if you're not there for weights yet, dumbbell. We like to do our trap bar with it. So one of the biggest reasons why I love doing this exercise, Bulgarian split squat, rear foot elevated, same thing, is because number one is unilateral. So it's very important we train unilaterally for athletes, right? We don't want muscular imbalances. We don't want one side to be more dominant than the other. So you want to make sure you hit both legs independently and then they come together even stronger. And another reason I love this is because it builds up the muscles I want to target, right? So it builds up the glutes really well. It's really great to build up everything in the knee. So the stronger we can have the structural tissue around our joints, the better it's going to be for us. A big part of long jump is, that run up phase, how obviously far you can jump. And a lot of that, if you can increase your strength and increase the ability to store energy in your tendons, in your structural tissue, you're going to see improvement. So doing something like a rear foot elevated split squat works, it's unilateral exercise. So it works each leg independently, also works core, but it's a great way, like I said, to build up the glute and build up that knee joint. Number two, we have Nordic hamstring curls. So yes, we know these ones are absolutely brutal, but they are insanely good at building up glute strength, posterior chain, right? Glutes, hamstrings, another massive important factor about Nordic hamstring curls. It builds up the back of our knee. So we need to be able to sustain force, absorb force, produce force, and a big part of deceleration, and deceleration is huge for athletes because it's not necessarily just can you stop, but it's how fast can you absorb, and the faster you can absorb, the faster you can produce. You can use elastic energy stored, right? It's not gonna dissipate. So a big part of Nordics is the posterior chain, including building up the back of the knee. So love to do this when you can start it off easy, right? I just have our athletes go down as slowly as they can. When they can't anymore, you just release, push yourself back up. You can also have them hold an ISO. So you go down as far as you can, you hold that for a little bit. That's a really great way to build up that posterior chain. And if you're looking at track athletes or any athlete running, anybody running really, you'll notice that as you're in this position, right, when you strike down, that triple extension, a lot of it's going to be coming from the glute, the hamstring, the knee, right here in this. So you want to make sure that you can absorb the force, that it's really, really strong. So Nordics are one of our favorite ways to do that. All right, number three, not really a strength exercise how we might be thinking of it, but it's going to be two variations of skips. So we love skips. One of our favorite plyometric exercises. Actually, it's in our warm-up. That's how much we love it. But today we're going to be focusing on skips for height and skips for distance. So this is a great way to work on producing power. So power is just how fast you can produce force. So you want it to be quick because the faster you can produce force, right, the more it's going to benefit you in a sport like track, especially for long jump. So another great thing about skips is it works on triple extension and pushing off. So a big part is pushing off, building up the foot ankle complex. Something like skips really does that. You can pretty much do it anywhere. So skips for height, it's essentially just how high you can get up every single time. How high you can jump up, really driving those feet into the ground, trying to push so much force into the ground so that it pops you right up. All right, as we're going, we want to make sure we strike down, right, straight under our body. So when we do something like skips, we're here and it pops us straight up. We work on that vertical force production. And then when we do skips for distance, it's all about how far forward you can go. Pretty much you want to float, so about that horizontal force production. So when you put those two together, it's really going to benefit a sport that includes sprinting, so it's almost effortless, and obviously long jump includes jumping. So you're working on that jumping aspect there. Very, very important. So definitely include skips for height and skips for distance. Number 4, we have step downs. I do this one a lot, especially for like a prehab corrective reason or for just a rehab reason. So, and obviously just to build strength. So this is a really, really great workout. Great for stability, great for core, but essentially what we're doing is really working on loading up our glute and building up our knee strength. So being able to slowly, and it's unilateral, slowly go down on one, loading it up in the glute, taking it, you know, I tell athletes you don't want to put all the pressure in your knee. You want to shift the load to the glute, but being able, as you load down, to absorb it and withstand it in your knee is very important. It's also good for body mechanics, right? You'll notice a lot about people when they do step downs, a lot of people shift forward like this. So you can tell what's weak, what you need to work on, because ideally you want to be going straight down. I have no problem with the knee tracking in line with the toe or even a little bit beyond. That's very, very sport specific actually, you know, the more that we look at it. But I don't want your torso trying to offset because of weak glutes. So step downs are huge for so many reasons. Make sure you're including them. Number 5, we're going lateral lunges. Sorry if you can hear the truck in the background. We're going lateral lunges. So a lot of the exercises that people commonly do are in one plane, usually going this way, right? That sagittal plane, whether we do lunges or squats, whatever it is. We really have to make sure we hit every single plane, especially frontal, right? So that's one great reason for lateral lunges. Another great reason, once again, works on the glutes, works on the side. We need to have strength throughout our entire lower body, not just, you know, in one plane of motion. So by going here, loading it back, you work on unilateral strength, the glute, everything on that lateral side. And as we're sprinting, don't forget how much force is going to that lateral side, right? Obviously lateral and medial, but we need to make sure that we're really strong here. You'll see often a lot of people come in when they run with their knee because of weakness in the glute, weakness in the outside. So we want to strengthen this up so we can keep our knee in line, right? We're not trying to run creating force like through our hips. I can't even do it. Like creating force, like kind of coming in a little bit. A lot of youth athletes we train try to do that. And once we are able to strengthen up the glute in the lateral side, it corrects it, right? Everything takes you in a straight line, which is what you really, really want. So lateral lunges, super awesome way to work on that frontal plane. All right, number 6, we got kettlebell swings. This is a really, really great exercise. I do these pretty much with every single athlete who comes in here. So once again, following the theme, wonderful for that posterior chain, all about producing power, right? Quick force production. So you're here, how fast you can get that kettlebell up and down under control. So it's great for hip extension, and hip extension is very important for sprinting. You know, full hip extension as we're accelerating, as we're jumping, driving force through the glutes, creating power through the glutes, through hip extension. So we do a lot of things to build up strength through hip extension, and kettlebell swings are a great way to build power through hip extension. And another reason that they're so great is you have to absorb force very quickly. So you're in this loading phase, and as you use your hip extension to get that kettlebell up, it's immediately taking you back down. So you rapidly put your hamstrings, your glutes on stretch, having to absorb force and quickly counteract that to produce force. So it's a great way to train the body to absorb and produce, to stretch, to contract. So definitely include these in your workout as well. Last but not least, miniband zigzag walks. You guys couldn't possibly think that we would include exercises without the miniband. So I love the miniband, full on, one of my favorite pieces of equipment. So miniband goes around either ankles if you want a little bit harder, or knees if you're not too great at this. And we're just going zigzag walk. So you step out and you bring your feet together every single time. So kind of similarly to the lateral lunges, it's a great way to build up the hip complex, in the lateral parts of the leg. And also it's a great way for stabilization. As you're here with tension around your feet, it's very easy to trip, to fall. You need to be strong. You need to be able to have tension trying to bring your legs together as you're going apart. Control on the way here, right? We don't extend and just clap our feet together. So you need a lot of strength. You also need a lot of knee strength, and like I keep saying, lateral strength, so that your knees don't come in. A lot of people try to produce power through their knees when they're doing these exercises, and that is really what we're trying to avoid. We are trying to build up posterior chain strength, quad strength. We are trying to build up the knees, but not to create force. We're not trying to pull with our knees to do things, right? That leads to a lot of injuries, and you're not gonna be as efficient. So anything with a mini band, honestly, even lateral kicks, lateral walks, fire hydrants, anything you do with the mini band is going to be beneficial. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give a thumbs up, subscribe, and we will catch you guys in the next one.